In 1910, Newark had almost 10,000 African American citizens. As the state's most populous city, with an expanding economy, it could offer many positions traditionally occupied by blacks further north. It is in this city that we meet our honoree for this evening. Brenda Estelle Ray Moryck was born on June 13, 1892 in Newark, New Jersey, to Sarah Rose Ray, age 33, and John Moryck, age 36. After graduating from the Miller Street School, Brenda attended St. Vincent's Academy and Barringer High School. Longtime Newark civil rights activist William Ashby wrote in his Reflections of Negroes in Newark, John Moryck had a saloon on Academy Street. He lived on Kearny Street. Moryck had an unusual daughter, Brenda. She graduated from Barringer High School and won a scholarship at Wellesley College, certainly the first Negro girl from Newark to attend a prestigious white school. Brenda completed a bachelor's degree from Wellesley College in Massachusetts in 1916 and was the only black graduate in her class. While at Wellesley, Brenda composed Why, a story integrating themes of mixed blood, nobility, and children's reality, topics that would reappear in her later writing. The short story was published in the January 1923 issue of Opportunity magazine. In addition, it is included in the anthology Harlem's Glory, Black Women Writing 1900 through 1950. Following her graduation from Wellesley in 1916, she married Lucius Lee Jordan, a school teacher and African-American graduate of Harvard. Brenda began volunteering as a worker in the Newark Bureau of Associated Charities. She found this work interesting but sobering. Her quote at the time was, "I'm not exactly slumming, but it's just a thing to steady a somewhat erratic and too independent young person, the kind I was in college." Sadly, Moryck's husband died the same year they were married at the age of 30 in New Orleans. After the death of her husband, Brenda moved to Washington, D.C., and received many accolades for her writing. In 1921, Moryck and 9 other women chartered the Sigma chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, later named the Epsilon Omega chapter. Fellow charter member May Miller recalls that in the 1920s, after Moryck was employed as a vice principal of the Armstrong High School and joined the black social scene, she teamed up with Moryck to teach Miller Moryck dancing class on Saturday afternoons for 2 years in Baltimore. One of Miss Moryck's most well-known essays is titled I Too Have Lived in Washington, and it is famously a debate with Langston Hughes about the black bourgeoisie in Washington, D.C. For her story Days, in this article, W.E.B. Du Bois is writing a letter requesting to publish the story in the Crisis magazine. Later on that year, the editor of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority Ivy Leaf contacted W.E.B. Du Bois to have the story reprinted in its Ivy Leaf magazine. In 1930, Brenda married Robert F. Franck, a lawyer and attaché in the Haitian delegation in Paris. From this union, she had one daughter, Elizabeth Betty Osborne Frank, and a foster daughter, Julia Wormley. During her lifetime, Moryck's strong views made her a sought-after speaker and lecturer. She was part of the women's self-help movement, and she held memberships in many national organizations for the advancement of women and Negroes. For the 1940 New York World's Fair, W.E.B. Du Bois lobbied successfully to allow an exhibit featuring black contributions to the cultural development of the United States. Brenda Moryck and several Alpha Kappa Alpha leaders attended the event. In her article entitled The Incredible Legacy of Newark's Black Women Activists, one of our panelists tonight, Noel Williams, states, "While Moryck was very much part of the Black elite, she was both enamored with and critical of the privileges and limitations of her caste." In her 1941 biographical update for her biography at Wellesley College, she writes, "Many Caucasians would boycott magazines if they knew the author of some of their favorite stories was colored, since stories are not about Negroes. Since money rather than fame is my unworthy goal, I don't mind loss of public acclaim." Brenda Ray Moryck's success in writing continued until 1949, when she died of pneumonia while visiting her daughter at the Convent of the Sacred Heart in Albany, New York.